Hey guys, it's Brian, and we're back at BG Model Workshop, and we're going to start off this episode with a huge thank you to Ken over at Show Rod Garage. Ken saved our bacon on an issue with a kit that we purchased recently. It was the Bugatti 35B, and we needed the radiator surround. And going through the kit, we discovered that was the only thing that was missing. But in the defense of Bernie's Bargain Barn, where we got our kit at, there is a hole in the bottom of the box that I had neglected to see, and we figured that probably just took just went on walkabout, as I like to say. So hey, it was no big issue. A member of the community helped us out greatly, and we're very appreciative of that. Got our little bit here. Nice and happy about that. Cut the radiator cap also. Again, thank you so much for that, Ken. And I've decided that when we get a chance to build this little Bugatti, we're going to actually dedicate it to him. So that's, once again, Ken, thank you very, very much for helping us out. All right. Also, thank you very much for the card. I have one in the mail for you as well, and we really do hope that you're doing okay and that your testing and everything has gone to plan, I should say. What have we got on the bench? Well, first of all, let's start off with this, our little Model T here. This is a glue bomb. Our Cactus Car Modeler group, one of our members had come into literally boxes of glue bombs, pre-built kits, and he suggested that we do a glue bomb group build where all of us pick out a couple of kits and then refurbish them somehow, either make them back to stock, make them new, make them look good, just make them not glue bombs anymore. So we have until October to do that. That's the deadline of the meeting in October. So I'm hoping that that's not going to be much of an issue. It looks like somebody just used like nail clippers and clipped this off trees and then just went to town with some of the, I would imagine that's tester's glue there. A couple of fingerprints in there. So we can figure out who that was if we did our fingerprint checks on this stuff. But I like Model Ts. I've always liked the turtlebacks too because it's just a unique shape. So I always wanted a Model T kit. I just didn't have time to go out and actually build one. I don't have any in the stash, so I thought, yeah, this would be kind of a fun deal. I'm not quite sure how I want to do this one yet. I don't know. Maybe we'll rustification this one. Maybe not. We'll see. But then, what else we got going on? My cousin Bradley's Mercedes 450 SL. This is looking really, really good. We were getting really close to the finish line on this one until we happened to notice that on the back deck here, you see a little bit of a hazing going on. That's from some super glue we'd used to hold the interior tub in place, and we got a little bit of a frosting on the paint, so I wanted to let that cure up as much as it wants to, and then we're going to go back and see if we can't polish that off. There is a little speck of red gone, but I can decant some of that and hopefully touch that up so it's okay. But I had to set that aside for a few days until I cooled down because I was pretty upset about that. It would never happen on one of the kits that I'm just building for a YouTube group build. No, it happens on the kit that I have to send off to a friend and family. Over here we have a 2006 Ford GT based on the GT40 body style from the back in the 60s. And I wanted to do this guy up. It's a Polar Lights kit, and it comes in the Gulf Oil livery, which I already love. I love Gulf Oil livery, but I also love this racing paint scheme from the 1960s, 1966 24 hours at Daytona was where we saw this first show up. And originally the cars, there was 3 cars that were entered. There was the 95, the 97, and the 98. And every one of those cars had the same paint scheme, which was a flat black hood and a white body with the round L numbers on it and everything. But apparently they were having a hard time keeping track of the cars on the track. So they looked so similar to each other. So somebody came up with the idea of putting red tape over just half of the nose of the car, and then red tape squares on either side of where the number roundel is going to go on the driver's door. And then well, on this car, it's the driver's door. I think actually in the actual car, it was the original car, it was the passenger door because it was right-hand drive. But the 95 and the 97, they got similar tape treatments where they had blue or green, and then again blue or green on the door. And I just love this one. This was the winning car of the 24-hour Daytona, and I think that was the inaugural race too. It was the first time they ever had that race. So this was the first winner of that race. And I thought I'd do a tribute build for that car in these colors, and I'm really digging it. This is all done with rattle can. I do have a little bit of touch-ups to do right through here, which is no problem, and a little bit of a fuzziness right through here because I had used a little bit of an older tape. But what I was most impressed with is this line right here. Yeah, that turned out awesome. So we're going to finish that up. Here's our chassis and body. Our chassis body. There's the body. Here's the chassis. Our chassis and interior. And this is a press fit type of thing. It's not really a snap together thing. It's press fit. But the tolerances are so close that we actually had to go through and chase all the holes after painting so that everything fit back together just fine. And the kit does sport instrument decals. I like that. I love it when they do that type of stuff. There are no seat belts or seatbelt decals or detail in the kit. I'm not really worried about that. I don't want to go too gung-ho on it. I just want to have fun. And what you see here is the culmination of probably 2 solid days of just work, of just building and painting and building and scraping and painting and drilling. But we're probably going to sleeve these exhaust tips with some aluminum tubing to help brighten that up a little bit. But we'll have to wait till it goes into the car because he's popped through the back. And I got most of the chassis done. I got some little bit of weathering on the bottom. Got most of the chassis done. And we just have to do a little bit of cleanup on our overspray here and there. And then maybe do a little bit of weathering with some washes or something on the top, on the body. Bring out our door panels and stuff. And then do up the decals that we need to do. And then marry the two things together and be done. The kit has chrome wheels that we stripped and did with a titanium gold, and I think that's going to be awesome. This is one of the rear wheels, but still, you know, it's going to look awesome. We did a little bit of shading on that, and then in the background you'll see that this has the calipers molded in place. So we're going to glue them in place so they don't spin around, so our calipers aren't at 12 and 6 or 9 and 3, or so we'll make sure that happens. Also, one of the wonky thing is that they only have one mold for the backing plate there. So one side's going to have the brake caliper facing forward, the other side's going to have the brake caliper. I don't know. It's just going to be funky. But hey, it is what it is. Let's see what else we got going. Oh yeah, we got this Romulan warbird that we've had sitting in our paint booth for forever, and our friend Adam has been so patient about it and everything, and he's been so quiet. I know he hasn't forgotten about it because every once in a while when I see him, he's like, "Hey, how's my warbird?" I'm like, "It's fine." But we had a mishap. We did have a mishap with it, and it was an honest mishap on our part. While I was doing some of the detail work on this, I was doing some dry brushing on it, and Mrs. BG was like, "Maybe I can give you a couple of old makeup brushes that I have." I'm like, okay, great. So she did. She gave me these big puffy things that were like awesome for doing dry brush work, right? Well, they still had makeup in them, and I didn't think about that. I thought that they were something that they were new that she never used. I didn't realize that they were used but looked new. And I did 2 passes on this thing, and it was covered in bare mineral sparklies. I was like, oh God, the warbird looks like it's gonna go clubbing tonight. So I've been trying to figure out how to get this stupid bare mineral stuff back off again so I can do a proper dry brush on there. And I think we got it sorted out finally. So we're going to finish off the weathering on that and then decal it and then get it on off to him so I can stop feeling guilty about it. Alright guys and gals, it's been a long enough video talking about a whole lot of nothing. I hope you all had a great weekend. I know I did, doing the 48-hour build. That was a lot of fun. Go check back through people's videos for this last week, and everybody had a slate up that told that they were part of the video, the 48-hour group build. We actually picked up a couple of new subscribers because of that, and I also started following a couple of new channels as well. Some good builders out there doing some great stuff. All right, y'all, take it easy. We'll talk to you a little bit later on the week. Bye now.